You sold your legacy for a scroll, your bloodline for a notification, your name for 10 seconds of dopamine. Nobody forced you. Nobody coerced you. You did this willingly, over and over and over. The worst transaction in human history. And you're still making it, right now. There are two kinds of joy in this world. One costs nothing up front. One costs everything immediately. One evaporates in moments. One compounds across decades. You know which one you've been choosing. Everyone does. The cheap joy is always available, always accessible, right there in your hand. One swipe away from relief. It promises escape from the weight of being. It promises you won't have to feel the discomfort. What it actually delivers is a spark, a flicker, then nothing. Worse than nothing. You end up emptier than when you started. The expensive joy makes no promises. It only makes demands. Show up when your body is breaking. Build when nobody's there to see it. Push through when pushing seems impossible. Sacrifice today for rewards that might never materialize. Sometimes I wonder if it's even worth it. Then I see what cheap joy produces. And I know it is. Real joy costs time you can't recover. Costs comfort you must abandon. It costs choosing the harder path repeatedly. Building something that might take years to pay off. Or might not pay off at all. That's the price. Most people look at that price and walk away. Not because they can't afford it. Because they're weak. You've observed people with real legacies. Bodies that still function at 50. Minds that remain sharp. Names that people speak with respect. You tell yourself they had advantages. They didn't. They just refused comfort more often than you. They said no to distraction. No to ease. No to the feed that owns you now. While you were choosing relief, they chose resistance. Now the gap between you is uncrossable. A canyon. And it widens every day you scroll. The cheap joy pretends to be rest. That's the lie it whispers. Rest restores. Scrolling extracts. You finish each session feeling depleted. Slower. Heavier. Dimmer. Like something vital was siphoned out. Because it was. Your attention. Your time. Your edge. Your potential. All traded for content you won't remember in an hour. For videos that don't matter. For lives that aren't yours. You wonder why everything feels flat now. Why nothing excites you anymore. Why you feel like scenery in your own existence. The answer is obvious. You've been choosing the thing that demands nothing. And receiving exactly what you paid for. Nothing. Here's what they don't tell you about cheap joy. It compounds. Not like interest in an account. Like rot in a foundation. Every scroll adds another layer of decay. Every distraction lays another brick in the walls. You are building something. A prison. And you're already locked inside. The expensive joy builds differently. It stacks. One hard day on top of another. One refusal of comfort on top of the last. Slowly. Quietly. While everyone makes noise, you build in silence. Or at least, that's how it's supposed to work. But you're not building. You're scrolling. Time doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if you're not ready. It's moving. Always moving. And every second you spend on that screen is a second you don't get back. Every hour scrolling is an hour not building. The trade is permanent. The loss is irreversible. You see someone with a legacy and feel envy. That's the wrong emotion. You should feel shame. Because they had the same 24 hours you did, the same access to cheap joy, the same temptations. They just chose differently, more often, for longer, until the gap became impossible to ignore. Let's address your justifications now. You claim exhaustion. Everyone is exhausted. Exhaustion is the default state of modern existence. It's not special. It's not permission. It's not a reason to quit. It's the baseline. You either function through it or you collapse. You've been collapsing. You say you deserve rest. Based on what exactly? Based on completing the bare minimum. Based on surviving another day. Based on showing up and breathing. That's not deserving. That's existing. Rest is earned by those who exceeded requirements. You met them. Barely. That earns you nothing. You'll start Monday. Or next week. Or when things calm down. Things never calm down. That's the comfortable lie you tell yourself. The permission slip you sign every day. But Monday isn't real. Next week doesn't exist. There's only today. Only now. And you're burning it. Wasting it. Trading it for nothing. The cheap joy doesn't charge you today. That's how the trap works. The bill arrives later. Much later. In a decade. When your body's broken from neglect. When your mind's dull from disuse. When you look back and see nothing but consumption. Watching. Scrolling. Being a spectator in your own life. By the time you see the invoice, payment options are gone. The debt is locked in. Permanent. You want outcomes without process. Results without work. Respect without sacrifice. A legacy without the silent years of building. You want someone to hand you the life you refuse to create. That's not weakness. That's delusion. And reality doesn't accommodate delusion. It only measures what you built, what you produced, what remains when you're gone. Currently, nothing remains. You feel guilty about this. I can tell. Guilt means you're still conscious enough to see it. That's something. But guilt divorced from action is worse than ignorance. It's witnessing your own decay, cataloging it, documenting the decline, and doing nothing to stop it. That's not unfortunate. That's pathetic. You tell yourself you're different, that you'll change, that tomorrow will be different. I've heard this before, from hundreds of people just like you. Most of them are still scrolling, still waiting for the right moment, still choosing the cheap joy, the comfortable decline. Maybe you're the exception. Maybe you'll actually move after hearing this. But I doubt it. History suggests otherwise. Most people prefer the slow bleed to the sharp cut, the gradual decay to the immediate pain. They'd rather feel bad about wasting time than stop wasting it. It's easier that way. Requires less. Demands nothing. Here's what kills me about it. You know. You've always known. You can feel the trade happening in real time. The emptiness after each session. The guilt. The awareness that you're choosing wrong. And you do it anyway. That's not ignorance. That's surrender. So here's what happens now. You choose. Right now. Not tomorrow. Not Monday. No. The expensive path or the cheap one. I don't care which you pick. This is your life. Your consequences. Your grave. But understand this clearly. Time is choosing for you while you hesitate. Every hour you waste is erased permanently. Every day you delay adds another measurement to the box. The coffin. It's being built whether you participate or not, whether you notice or not, whether you care or not. You want peace. Everyone wants peace. But peace isn't given to the comfortable. It's taken by the powerful, by the disciplined, by those who did the work in silence. The weak don't get peace. They get noise. They get anxiety. They get regret. They get a life that feels like static until the transmission ends. You're building that life right now. Every scroll, every excuse, every tomorrow that never arrives. Do your duty, not because you're inspired, not because you're ready, not because conditions are perfect. Do it because it's the only thing that matters. The only distinction between you and furniture. The only escape from irrelevance. The only path away from being background. You weren't made to be an NPC. You were made to act, to move, to choose difficulty when ease was available. But you've chosen ease so consistently you've forgotten what hard looks like. You've forgotten what you're capable of. Or maybe you never knew. The expensive joy is still there, still available, still waiting for now. But there's a window, and it's closing. Your body has an expiration date. Your mind has limits. Your opportunity has a timer. Eventually, the door shuts. The offer expires. And all you're left with is furniture and regret. A chair, a screen, and the awareness of what you could have built. I can't tell you when that moment comes. When the window closes permanently. You can't tell either. But it's closer than you think. Closer than you want to admit. Closer than is comfortable to acknowledge. Every day you scroll brings it closer. Most people won't hear this message. They'll close this and return to the feed. Back to scrolling. Back to the comfortable hemorrhage. Back to the slow trade of everything for nothing. And that's acceptable. The world needs background characters. It needs people who stay still so movement looks impressive. It needs extras. Maybe that's your function. Maybe you were always meant to be scenery. Maybe not. Time will tell. It always does. It's the only honest judge. Your coffin is being measured right now. Not metaphorically. Actually, your name might be forgotten before you're cold. Your body might quit before you use it. Your window might close while you're deciding if you're ready. This is occurring. Currently. While you sit there. While you listen to this. While you wonder if today's the day. Tick-tock. Move now. Or don't move ever. But stop the pretense. Stop the performance. Stop acting like you didn't know. You knew. You've always known. You just chose not to care. Chose comfort over legacy. Chose easy over meaningful. Chose now over forever. Comfort is the grave of your potential. You're lying in it currently. The earth hasn't covered you yet. The burial isn't complete. You can still stand. You can still climb out. Or you can stay there. Stay comfortable. Stay still. Until the dirt covers you. Until it's permanent. The choice is yours. It always was. It always will be. Until it isn't.